A young boy named Sho is sent to his family's estate by his parents to rest by his aunt. She drives him along with her to the beautiful countryside home. Just as they reach there, the aunt finds another car blocking their path and goes out to clear the path. Sho gets to come out as well and watch the estate for the very first time. It is comprised of a small house amid a sprawling green landscape. During his first moments on the grounds, Sho sees the house cat, Nia, who appears to be waiting for something hidden in the plants, but eventually it gives up. After Nia leaves, Sho catches sight of what appears to be a miniature human. However, he doesn't pay much attention to it. After all, a miniature human. Who would want to believe that? The miniature girl, however, very much exists. She is a young girl named Arrietty, the daughter of a family of borrowers that live in a small humble house under the house's floorboards. After ensuring that Sho had left her surrounding, Arrietty reveals herself and makes a swift return to her parents. She almost gets caught by Nia again, but manages to escape safe and sound. Arrietty had gone out to gather some herbs for her mother Homily as it's her birthday and had managed to gather some bay leaves. Just as the mother and daughter discuss what they will be having for dinner today, Arrietty's father, Pod, arrives. The man appears to be very hard-headed and straightforward and has a frown on his face at all times. He informs the family about Sho's arrival in the house. Though Homily fears for their safety, Pod reassures the family that Sho has a heart condition, so he probably won't cause them much trouble. Arrietty is relieved as her father had intended to take her on her first borrowing within the walls of the house. If this new human was more trouble, he wouldn't have taken her, so she feels happy that he was what he was. Burrowing is the skill that has kept their family and dynasty alive for so long, the skill that requires them to basically steal food from the humans. This, however, is no easy task as everything humans have is massive and needs to be carefully extracted from the kitchen. Too little and they wouldn't be able to survive. Too much and the humans would start noticing the missing objects. Later on that evening, Arrietty prepares herself for the burrowing they need to do and carefully chooses what she is wearing. She then accompanies her father on a quest to obtain a cube of sugar and some tissue paper as per the request of her mother. Through a series of crevices and small openings within the floorboards of the house, the burrowers have made a path to make easy passage to the kitchen and every other room in the house. Although Arrietty and her family are the only burrowers that remain in the house now, they still use this path for their usual burrowing. First, Pod leads his daughter to the kitchen. They appear through a crevice in the kitchen cupboard. Pod uses the fishing hook as an anchor to lower himself to the floor, and then uses the tape to make his boots sticky and uses that to climb into place where the sugar is kept. Arrietty follows her father's lead and gets to the floor to gather the sugar cube that he lowered down for her. For the tissues, Arrietty and Pod climb to the house's second floor, where they make their way through an intricate dollhouse and into a guest bedroom. The two attempt to get the tissue paper from right next to a bed where Sho is asleep, but Arrietty freezes when it seems that Sho has seen her. In her attempt to leave, she drops the sugar cube. As she and Pod leave, Sho addresses her, asking if she is like the little people that his mother told stories about. She doesn't reply and just keeps walking, and Sho goes to sleep once more. Arrietty is pretty angry at herself for letting her family down, as that sugar was really necessary for their family to survive. Realizing that his daughter is blaming herself for the day being fruitless, Pod decides to take all the blame on himself, and when his wife asks why they had returned empty-handed, Pod makes up an excuse that is